Hi, Geminis. This is Cashton here with your December 2019 reading. Sorry that it took so long, but I've been traveling and bouncing around and seeing family and doing the holiday thing. But anyway, we're here now, and this is for all Geminis, the Gemini Collective, Sun sign, Moon, Rising, Venus, or if you just come across this video and it happens to resonate, then that's great for you. Also, let's jump in. So, the first card out, we got the Fool, Major Arcana, Aquarius energy, wisdom, and folly. Right. So what the Fool card speaks to is having that perfect balance of wisdom and folly, that energy in your decision making and the way you're carrying on your life. It speaks to a balance of work and play, right? And it says, if you have that perfect balance of wisdom and folly, that brings wish fulfillment, right? So it poses the questions like, are you working too hard? You know what I mean? Or are you playing too much? Or right? Where's that balance, right? So you got the Fool card. Next out, we got the Three of Pentacles. This is earth energy, creativity, and skill, but this came out in reverse. And so in reverse, again, what this speaks to is, are you working too hard or not enough to complete the task or achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve? And then it also speaks about making sure you learn everything you need to learn before trying to be the master at something, right? So it's like if you're starting something new or you're just freshly jumping into something, and you don't have it all figured out overnight, that is not a bad thing. That's not a negative. That's not a knock on you. You know what I mean? It speaks about kind of taking your time and making sure that you are doing all of the necessary homework before, seeing movement in something or seeing something really birth in the way that you want it to. Also, with the Fool card coming out, it speaks to, it kind of says like, whatever you're doing or whatever you're going after, whatever decision you're making, it's not going to be as tough or as hard as you maybe are thinking it is or making it out to be, right? Not going to be as hard as you're making it out to be. But anyway, we'll keep moving forward. So then you got the Three of Winged Ones, the Three of Swords. This is air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Heed the call of quest. And so usually this card talks about some sort of movement, but in reverse, what it speaks about is holding on to old patterns of behaviors or thoughts or emotions that no longer serve us, or it could speak to like having obstacles or things to look out for on the road ahead, or you could be going through kind of a time of like a challenging time right now, right? We'll keep going and looking more into this. So then you got the Six of Cups, happiness from the past, and this comes out in reverse as well. This is water energy. So could be dealing with an earth sign, could be dealing with the water sign. There's air here too. But anyway, happiness from the past in reverse. And so what this speaks to is, in reverse, being stuck in the past, or again, repeating old cycles from the past, or it speaks to needing to be still or needing to be patient, right? So sometimes if we are in a period of struggle, or you find yourself in a space of like, I don't know what to do, we'll do everything possible, right? It's like, make yourself completely busy and overwork and do the and kind of going to extremes because we're trying to work through something or emotions, or we don't know how we feel, we don't know what we're doing, right? And this kind of speaks to healing or changing those patterns of the past, but also learning how to just be still, right? Maybe that's your work in healing those things from the past, or in switching those old. Maybe that is what it's telling you to do. In the past, this is how you would work and get through things, is by being really busy or overworking or really getting over involved in things. But now you're going through a time where you're learning how to just be still and be patient, right? Could be in a work situation that is that's kind of difficult right now, or you're going through a hard time, or you feel overworked, or you're overworking yourself. um and this is saying find new ways, right? Find new methods. Balance out the work and play, like lighten up a little bit. Like maybe you're putting in way more than you need to be or than you have to be, right? Let's keep going. um the Ace of Wands could be in a relationship as well, and saying, do things differently this time if you're going into a new relationship, or if you're in a relationship. I don't feel like there's anything new here. I feel like maybe it could be a relationship or a situation that you're in that is transforming or needs to transform in some sort of way, right? Maybe you're going to a tough time on the job and you're thinking like, okay, where's the end of this, or will things change, or how can I make things change, right? So then you have the Ace of Wands. This is fire energy. Aries, Leo, Sag, fertility and new beginnings. And so what the Ace of Wands is a great card, and it speaks about maturity and transformation and new opportunities. But the sprinkle on top is what it also speaks about. It's kind of like the power of persuasion, right? So it's like there are new opportunities available for you, and you can see them, and you're maturing, and you're going through a time where I feel like you're maturing and transforming, and that will bring you to new opportunities that you'll maybe in the space you are now or were in previously you wouldn't be able to handle, or maybe opportunities you wouldn't even be able to see or identify, or wouldn't be able to see yourself claiming. And whatever this struggle is that is here, or whatever this difficult time is, it's growing and maturing you, right? It's preparing you for new opportunities, new beginnings. And it's saying that you have, when these opportunities present themselves, you have the tools, you have the gift of gab, you have whatever you need to be able to lock them in and seal it and claim it for yourself, right? Don't go to extremes, right? Don't overwork yourself, but then also don't take a whole month off if you need to be kind of you know what I mean. Like, I don't know, learn whatever that balance is for you. And then that's gonna really prepare you for whatever is next, or the way that this situation is unfolding, or it's teaching you how to have that balance so you can be your best self in the situation that you're already in, right? Then you've got the Eight of Swords. This is air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Time to free emotions and anxieties. And so what this card speaks to is finding new ways of dealing with or expressing your emotions, or finding, identifying emotional patterns that don't work, or are not, no longer beneficial in your life anymore, right? So I really feel like you're being groomed right now. Like, I feel like you're in a time of grooming right now, where it's like, you're getting like a new haircut. You know what I mean? Like, if somebody has a puppy and it's a really fluffy puppy, and then they take them to get groomed, and they come back and it's like you don't even recognize the dog because it just looks completely different. You know what I mean? And for that dog, it had to sit and go through the haircut and the shampoo and blow, and it's scrounging and whatever. And so it's like, I feel like you're going through that process within this. I really feel like it's a job or some sort of opportunity or like situation. I don't really feel like it's a love relationship. Could be. But I feel like whatever is going on, you're learning more about yourself through it, and you're learning new ways of functioning, if that makes sense, right? You're learning new ways of functioning. You're tapping new talents and skills within yourself, and you're just finding a new way of being, right? I don't know really any other way to say it. You're finding a new way of being and carrying on. Like if you normally go to work and you just like kill yourself for 8 hours, now you're finding out that, there's a different way to do this. I don't have to die on the job. I can do a little bit here and a little bit there. You know what I mean? Like you're finding a new way of being, and there's no guilt attached to it. You know what I mean? But everything that you're going through is pushing you to that point, and molding you into this new way of being. So, you know, don't be down on yourself about any of the struggles you may be going through. Kind of like embrace them and look for the lessons in them. Don't feel like it's like an attack or you're being pushed down or held back. You know what I mean? It's more of a grooming, if that makes sense. If you're being confronted with things from the past, deal with them. Because again, that's a part of your grooming process. Don't cling and feel like, well, this is just me. You know what I mean? If you feel like you're being confronted with things that are making you question your being and the way that you carry on every day to day, the way that you function, the way that you work, if you're being confronted with it, don't cling to the past. Examine that. And because it's trying to groom you and make you better, right? Lean into it. Then you got the Six of Wands. Faith and efforts rewarded. This is fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sag, and so this talks about persistence, and persistence and having faith and being rewarded in that, right? This is the keep pushing card. This is keep working at whatever it is that you're working at. It will come through. You will be rewarded. Everything will be okay. This is also favor over group work, right? So if it's that's why I really feel like this is like a job situation or work opportunity, or maybe it's a project, like some sort of project you're working on and you're working with others, right? This says just keep keep pushing, keep working at it, right? Be persistent. If you're going through a bumpy time right now, right? The same as if you were riding on a bumpy road and you just keep going, and then eventually it's no longer bumpy and it smooths out, right? Keep going, right? The energy here supports you for that, and it says as long as you, I feel like the struggle is you learning this balance between like doing the most or doing nothing at all. You know what I mean? I feel like it's you learning that balance, and that if you can achieve an equilibrium there, you know what I mean, then it brings you wish fulfillment and fulfillment, right? Because then you've got the Page of Pentacles. This is earth energy, grounding energy, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Lure to new studies and pursuits, right? So this is saying new adventures on the horizon. This is saying fresh air. This is saying that once you work through learning this balance and whatever this kind of bump in the road is, but you persist, right? You keep going, right? You free yourself of the anxieties, and you learn new ways of dealing with your emotions. You learn new ways of expressing yourself. You learn new ways of talking to that coworker that, pisses you off on every turn. You learn how to deal with it. You learn a different way of managing it. Instead of ignoring them, you stand up to them. Or instead of, confronting them in a violent way every time, you learn how to speak to them differently so that you can get on in a peaceful way, right? You're being groomed. You're learning a new way of being, and then it brings you wish fulfillment, and it brings you a new fresh air in your environment. It brings you to new adventures. It opens you up to all. I just keep hearing a new way of being, right? A new way of being. Once you work through this and learn how to have that balance in your life, right? It opens up your world. This popped out extra on the end, which is amazing. You got the Nine of Cups. This is water energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. You could be dealing with a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. This is wish fulfillment, right? It's exactly what it says. Wish fulfillment. And it speaks to worries just kind of beginning to dissipate and fall off, right, as you move through. So again, I feel like it's some sort of situation you're in, like a project or a group activity or a work environment, and you may be going through a tough time right now, but this says persist, and as you do that, your faith and efforts are rewarded, and the worries just begin to dissipate, and you find that you are capable, right? You find that you can handle this, right? You find that you have all the tools that you need, right? Bottom of the deck, the Justice card in reverse, right? So this tells me that, you are experiencing or have experienced some sort of injustice. You know what I mean? Maybe there's something in this environment that has thrown you off, or, maybe you are overworked, and underpaid, or maybe you feel like, I deserve this, whatever it might be. Something's going on in the environment that you're working through, but you are working through it. And as long as you continue to push, as long as you persist, as long as you work out and find out what that balance is for you to have peace as you persist, right? It brings you wish fulfillment. It opens up your world to new possibilities, expansion, new adventures, fresh air, a new way of being, right? And what this card says is, don't harp and focus on the injustice, because all injustices work themselves out in time, right? The injustice will work itself out. So there's no need to harp on that. Don't find yourself in the space of, this is not fair, this sucks. Don't do that. Just focus on persisting. Work out your end of the deal, right? Work out achieving your balance. Work out achieving your boundaries, right? Work out making sure it can work for you. Do whatever you need to do on your end of things, and the injustices that you're experiencing, they are working themselves out. They will work themselves out. It's bringing you to the Nine of Cups, wish fulfillment, right? New studies and pursuits. This is grounded energy, so you're headed in the right direction. Just kind of, push past, push through this, and free yourself of anything of the past, any old wounds. Maybe there's somebody in their environment, or there's some situation that always haunts you, because you're just like, I just cannot get over this. Like, I just cannot believe that happened, or I cannot believe you did me that way, or I cannot, you know what I mean? But this is saying, work through those things, deal with it, heal it, push, leave the past in the past, and find new ways of expressing yourself, find new ways of showing up, because it's helping you, right? It's growing and grooming you, right? Let's see if we can get some clarity. Clarity for this spread for the Gemini spirit. Too many. Okay. First out, we got the golden egg, right? This is listening to the heart and quiet introspection, right? So this clarifies this Six of Cups in reverse, that says that you're learning how to be still, right? You're learning how to be patient. Again, like I said, maybe that is your work, that is your healing, that is what all of this dealing with the past, dealing with old patterns of emotions, and maybe that is what this is clarifying. And it's saying that, that's your work, right? When you're going through these tough times in this situation, this project, it's heading in the right direction, and it does bring wish fulfillment. But don't do too much in the struggle. Just simply be still and be patient, right? You're capable. Everything is working out. You're doing what you need to do. Don't allow old ways, old patterns, old thinking, old habits and ways of doing things throw you off, right? This says don't get in your own way with overthinking. Just be still and be patient, right? This is promise, right? This says that, you know, this is the promise of a new future. This reminds me of I think it's the Six of Wands, maybe. No, this is the Six of Wands. I'm not sure, but one of my cards that speaks about the promise of a new future, and it's the egg. And it's how, you know, this comes first, and then we see the egg, and that's the promise. And then when it hatched, that's the new future, right? Birthing. And so when that egg is sitting there, it's a very quiet time. You know, the bird just kind of sits there and warms the egg, and they're not like tossing it around. They're not overwatching it. It's a quiet time, and it's just that trust and learning how to be still and be patient as things are cooking and unfolding, right? So this is your work, right? You're learning how to do that in struggle, in times of struggle. It's not that you need to overwork yourself. Sometimes it's that you just need to be still, right? And be quiet. And so then we got the rabbit. This is afraid, overwhelmed, and frozen. And so this could be the energy that you're in going through whatever this struggle is or this complicated time. Or these could be the feelings of the past or the patterns that you're breaking through, right? Always finding yourself in a space of being afraid, overwhelmed, or frozen, or in fear, or not being able to move forward, or stuck in the cycle of thought. Right? I get the strong energy of overthinking, right? And that could be the work as well. And this is just saying, learn how to free yourself of that. Learn how to be still. Learn how to be calm. If you don't meditate, implement that. Everybody that I talk to, I tell them that. So everybody's probably like, he always says that. Yes, it is important to do, because you learn how to rein in those emotions, control your mindset, and then you can move forward in a peaceful way, in clarity, and in, you know, clear thought. Let's pull advice from the Angel Oracle deck and wrap up. You know, this just says persist. Learn the balance of work and play. Don't overwork yourself. Don't overthink. Persist, right? And that's something I feel like Geminis will always do, right? Like Geminis always, you're always going, right? So it's like, you know that about yourself. You're always going to keep going, but there's no need to overdo it or overthink or stress yourself out in that process, right? Yeah. Wow. Wow. So we got first card out, steady progress. We acknowledge you for the progress you've made in remembering love in your daily activities. We can clearly see the contribution you're making to the world through your thoughts, feelings, and actions of love, right? Steady progress. So this is that persistence. This is that self-love and the reason why you do always keep going, right? Geminis always persist. You might hit a wall, you might bump yourself, right? But you're still like, your mind is always going and always thinking about, what can I be doing next? What can I be doing next, right? This is steady progress. So this is beautiful energy, and this is encouragement, and this is saying that the angels are assisting you with steady progress. So there's no need, like I'm saying, in whatever this obstacle or the bump in the road that you've hit, or maybe it's tough times you're going through right now, there's no need to go into a space of doubt or overthinking or questioning your abilities or capabilities or the direction you're headed, because there is steady progress, right? Learn how to be still and quiet and relax for a second, right? And listen, right? You're not hindering your progress by doing that, right? That's a part of the journey. Then you got release and surrender, right? We shower you with the blessings of our radiant love. Open your arms and release the challenges that you've held tightly gripped within your hands. Open your hands, arms, and heart to our love and assistance, right? What did I say? You are being assisted. You're being supported through this. So don't give up. I don't feel the energy of giving up at all. But don't give up. you know, in trials and in obstacles and in hard times. And if you're being, you know, challenged right now, rise up to the challenge. You got it, right? And if the challenge is your emotions and healing and working through old ways of thinking and going about, know that you're being brought into a new way of being, right? There is new and fresh air being brought in for you, and you're learning how to be in that new space and how to handle and how to achieve that balance, right? Learn how to be still and learn how to be patient. And don't feel like you're hindering your progress or you're not doing anything by doing that. That is doing something, right? That is a step in the journey and in the process, right? Sometimes sitting down and just having a moment, right? But there is the Nine of Cups here, you guys, and this is wish fulfillment, right? Don't worry, right? If there's a tough time you're going through right now, just persist. Just persist, right? All right, that's what I have for you. Thank you guys for watching. Share this with all of your people. If you know any other Geminis, I know you guys are usually really chatty. Call them up, chat about it, tell them what you think. Tell me what you think. I'd love to know your thoughts, and I will talk to you next time. Have a good one. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like to follow me on Instagram, you can find me at Cashton with 3 N's, CASHTONNN. If you would like to donate or book a personal reading, you can find that information in the description box below. And if this video resonated with you or any of the content here resonates with you and you'd like to continue the conversation with me, please like, share, and subscribe. All right, you guys, I will talk to you next time.